And welcome. Today's video or live stream rather, and I'm sorry about not doing live streams in a while, but I do want to say welcome back to Hulk Gaming. If this is your first time here, be sure to go ahead and subscribe now, and that way you don't miss anything coming up. Now it's been a while, like I said, since my last stream, and I'm sorry for that, but I've had a lot going on in real life, and you know, I'm back, and let's go ahead and move forward. Now, today's live stream is going to be totally awesome. I believe you guys will enjoy it, and I'm asking that you let your friends know, your guildmates, whoever, let them all know about this live stream because it is going to be one that you're not going to want to miss. Now, if you're watching this on playback, please be sure to let me know in the comment section below what you think. Okay, so I'm going to give it a few minutes for a few people to pop in, and then we'll go ahead and get started. In the meantime, I do just need to step away just for a few seconds and see what my cats are tearing up. So I will be right back with you guys. Okay, and I'm back again. Sorry about that. Babe was just, I guess, biting, playing around, whatever. But recently we had a developers leak go live on IMGUR, and I'm not sure how you pronounce that website's name, but IMGUR. And now, I do have my reservations about it. I have my doubts whether it's valid or whether it's somebody, just sitting down, writing up some stuff. But I wanted to bring it to you guys just in case, because there's no way of knowing ahead of time if it is legit or not. So, with that being said, I will go ahead and post in the comment section or the description rather a link. So if you're watching this on playback, be sure to check it out. That way you can read it for yourself and make your own decisions whether you believe or disbelieve what's said. Now, first, I do have some pictures here, and everybody loves pictures. I know I do. So the very first one here. Now you may not be able to see that close enough to read it, but I can read it for you. And it says, "I am a developer at Blizzard working on World of Warcraft AMA, or Ask Me Anything. Some of this stuff is going to be a bit vague as to make it impossible for the company to figure out who I am if they come across this. I was moved from 8.3 work onto the next expansion within the past 6 months. I will not take any pictures or anything of that sort. There are cameras in the office, and if they wanted to find out who took the pictures, they just need to play back the tape." Now, first of all, I find this very, very interesting because, if you call Blizzard, they're going to tell you that Reddit or the forums is a good place to reach out to, or Twitch, to the developers. And apparently, if this guy is for real, he's saying that the developers don't read Reddit. So he feels secure in coming on to IMGUR rather and posting all of his stuff, all of his leaks, if you will. Now, first of all, and I personally don't believe that if this person is a WoW developer and he's leaking all the information that we're getting ready to get into, I think he needs to be fired. Not because that I don't enjoy reading and finding out little tidbits that could be true or could not be true, one of the two, but that the fact is, when you sign on with any company like Blizzard, Dell, any company nowadays, really, you have a non-disclosure agreement, and this guy is breaking it wide open. So, with all that said, let's take a look at the post. And someone on Reddit really did do us a solid, and he gathered everything and put it into one post, putting it into categories so it's easier to digest. So it's easier for us to go through it, read, and understand, and move on. So, first of all, let me make sure that we are live, because it shows me that we're live, but so far we have nobody popped in, and I want to make sure that we are live here. Okay. So it does appear that we are live. And so, with that all being said, let's go ahead and get started. Let me get everything ready here. Okay, so for some reason, let me try this as a incognito, because for some reason it's not showing me on my web channel that I am actually live. But okay, there it goes. Yeah, I guess it just had a mild hiccup. Okay, so with that all being said, let's get started. The very first one, and I love the way this guy put everything into categories. It made it a lot easier. The first category is Sylvanas and the Horde, the true story of BFA. First, the question, who is the last boss of BFA? He answered, not really a final boss, so to speak, but a final encounter is saving Sylvanas, though it will require fighting her first and then resealing N'Zoth's prison. Now, I don't know about you guys, but I was hoping that we would either kill Sylvanas off, definitely that we would kill N'Zoth, but apparently we're going to do neither. We're not going to kill N'Zoth, we're not going to kill Sylvanas. We are going to imprison N'Zoth again and save Sylvanas. So, it is what it is, I guess, but I was kind of hoping to kill one or both. But the next one is Sylvanas lives. Turns out she was trying to save the world. Sylvanas is doing all she can to stop N'Zoth from breaking from prison, though not all will be forgiven. Now, this to me says that a lot of the stuff that she's done, though she may have looked at it as being okay to do, it's going to have repercussions. Not death, because we do know she lives, but repercussions. And we'll get into that in a little bit. Now, he goes on to talk about Sourfang and Thrall, the possibility of them dying to save Sylvanas. Now, he goes on to say, both stage a revolution, and they put Bane on the throne. though she doesn't put up much of a fight, as she's already all preparing for Neolopa above him. Now, guys, I don't know about you, but to me, this says that Bane is going to be our new war chief. You remember way back at BlizzCon when Chris Metzen had brought up the question, is there going to be a new opening for war chief? And they said that they would let him know when the job was posted, or something of that nature. Well, here it pretty well tells us that Bane Bloodhoof, which the Alliance have already said is the one and only person that they view as being honorable in the Horde, is going to be the new war chief. The Alliance sort of got their revenge early due to the frosty reaction to the beginning of the expansion. We were going to leave Tyrande Retribution for 8.3, but people were a bit more impatient than we expected. Bane and Anduin will make peace, and Sylvanas and her loyalists will go into hiding. Now, if you've been watching the channel for a while, you're going to recall that we had a talk on a video and a live stream even about choices have, they have repercussions. If I choose to go down the road and pull a gun and shoot somebody, I'm going to jail. That's a repercussion. If I choose to run from the law when they're pulling behind me, that's a repercussion, but I'm going to go to jail, if not be shot down, if I do something stupid. Okay? So, here, all the people who have backed Sylvanas, her loyal fans, her loyal subjects, if you will, are going to have a repercussion. What is that repercussion? They're going to be put into hiding. They're going to have to go into hiding. Now, this could also be the lead up to the third faction that I've talked about many times. And if that's the case, it would make sense that Sylvanas would lead the third faction. I mean, she's being pretty well kicked out of the Horde, so why not, right? She leads the third faction, and the players that chose Sylvanas over Sourfang will go with her. There'll also be, I'm assuming, a little bit of other NPCs, maybe the ones that were in the Undercity, okay? And that will be the beginning of the third faction. That's where I'm looking at it here. Next, it goes on to say, Lillian Voss is slated for the undead lead, though they could see that being scrapped and replaced with Kalia if the faction stuff is scrapped. Now, I don't know about you, but to me, first of all, that leaves a few things to be looked at here. First, Lillian Voss as the undead leader, i.e. as Sylvanas' role. Now, that also says that some of the undead will be staying with the Horde, while others will be going with Sylvanas. And as far as Kalia, if the faction stuff is scrapped, to me that says that there's a possibility that they're working on of doing away with Horde and Alliance and just making it World of Warcraft players. But we'll get into that in a little bit. Stay close. Now, this guy does have a knack for words. Old God shit. But we'll pull up a different picture for that because it gives us a little bit more of a clear view. Neolopa is in 8.3. It's larger than normal zones, and wouldn't be surprised if it was 2 to 4 zones. tallest zone yet. Now, that's all well and fine, but the part that makes me interested is what comes next. Neolopa isn't in the sea. Its gateway is in the sea, but Neolopa is its own plane of existence that will be transported over the gate in 8.3. So, from the way I'm gathering, it's kind of like you have the dark portal, and everything is just superimposed over it. Kind of, and I'm not saying it's going to be over the dark portal, but kind of like that. And let's move on to the next one. The next one's going to be a big one, and that is 9.0 and beyond. But focus on the next expansion will be around both the return of and the rise of the Dragonflights as a whole, and dealing with the forces of death. Now, first of all, I believe the forces of death could in fact mean Sylvanas and her crew, because Sylvanas is always talking about death. She's undead. She's a banshee. Her people are undead. So I believe she may be there. But more importantly, Dragonflight. I said sometime back, I think it was a couple months ago now, I spoke about the Dragonflight and why I feel that they will be part of 9.0. Why they will be part of the new expansion coming up. And apparently, if this guy is for real, it was just revealed, and I'm right on that, which I'm totally happy about if that's the case. It goes on to say Elune will be a big part of the next expansion as sort of an aspect of light that serves as a frenemy who's allied with death. So Elune is going to be the go-between, more or less, the person that speaks with everybody and is partnered with death. Now, the Kaldora's faith is shaken since she put into motion the events that led to Sylvanas' reign and the Blood War. Now, that is a very interesting way of describing this war, because Sylvanas, it was not anything that Anduin or the Alliance did that prompted this. In today's world right now, Donald Trump, the president, is looking to possibly attack Iran. Well, there was provocation there because they apparently didn't realize that it was not a good idea to shoot down one of our drones. So, but there was no provocation with this war. There was no reason for it. Sylvanas just thought it up and went with it. So, it was definitely her blood war. Next, plans for the future expansions are new zones as opposed to revamping the older stuff. Which I like this idea because, quite honestly, the older stuff I think should be left alone. And should be left as is. So that other players who are starting now will be able to experience the game the same way we did in the live content. But that's just my opinion. If you think I'm wrong, let me know in the comments section. Okay, maps look a little cluttered, but it's not a serious problem. Concept art of an area called the Spawning Grounds looks good, but it's just that, concept art. Now, concept art of the Spawning Ground. I don't know if any of you ever played a game called Active Worlds. Years and years and years ago, I toyed around with it because you could go in, you could build, you could, do a lot of different things. And they had what they called Ground Zero. And more or less any spot that you wanted to go to, for example, you wanted to go to the continent of, in our case, let's say Rapid the Lich King, you wanted to go to the, or better yet, you wanted to go to Burning Crusades area, you wanted to go to Outlands, you would have a portal there, much like we do now, but it would be a lot bigger and a lot more, out there. Next, the expansions, new expansions will have yet again more hidden isles. Now, this also plays in to what I said some time back about the Dragon Isles and a few other islands that I feel will be popping up. And I'm hoping this guy's for real in one way, and yet in another way I kind of hope he's not, because if he's not, then that leaves me to believe that Blizzard is not, leaking like a rain barrel that's just been shot full of holes. But let's move on. There was a question: is 9.0 light versus void with the factions being split? In answer, he says, Karash is slated for 10.0, though at this stage it could change. Unlikely though, since the story is coming. Next, could you list the ideas of the future expansions? In answer, he says Dragon Isles plus Shadowlands, confirmed. Koresh concept. Ancient Azeroth / time travel weapon elf with Elf Queen Ashara concept. Which, that concept alone is more than enough to keep me playing, keep me wondering what's next. And it goes on to say there are a few drastic changes coming in 9.0, but there's nothing like a WoW 2. Mostly leveling changes, sort of blended like ESO style. And some faction changes being weighed. Some on my team were working on the prototype of how faction merger could work or would work system-wise, and how it could still allow for PvP using war mode. Now, if I got this right, guys, what he's talking about here more or less is, let's say my guild and your guild have a healthy relationship, and we want to see who's the best in PvP. War mode up and head on over to the battlegrounds. Or you have a problem with somebody else's guild, head on over to the battlegrounds and settle it on the battlefield. It is definitely a good concept. It's something that would make you think, Next, here, let's see. 3 expansions planned out. Only 1 beyond concept art as of right now. And sadly, no WoW 2. Now, I'll be honest with you, I'm hoping that the WoW 2 part is false, because at some point I think it would be very interesting to have a WoW 2. Clay Stuff, rather. I don't know where I've seen Staff. It's been a long day, guys. The new hero class, and this is one that everybody's been wanting for a while, including some of the streamers like Panzer. So she's definitely been talking about the Tinker class for some time. It's planned to start at level 50, but it's unclear if it's under the new or current leveling system. So that we'll have to wait and see. Tank, heals, and DPS using melee armor. Tanks have power armor. Now it says here, I read this as power armor like the Fallout series. And I don't play Fallout, so I have no idea what that would refer to. But if anybody does, let me know in the comments. DPS using stealth bombs, mines, and guns. Healers using heal bots to heal in between damage dealing. Now, I think that this is a very good thing, and you will see a lot of tinkerers out there. I honestly think we'll see a lot of them if this does go live. Clay skins and prestige clays. Necromancer for warlock. Dragonsworn for druids. Dark shamans for, well, yeah, you guessed it, shamans. He later calls them prestige classes and labels them as a separate class. He then goes on to say, it wouldn't make sense if for a warlock to suddenly become a necromancer or a druid, a dragonsworn. There's a planned necromancer prestige class for warlock, though it'll just be a skin, so to speak. Now, I don't know about you, but if you've ever played Diablo 3, I'm looking forward to a necromancer. If they do this, I may just switch over to my warlock and play it for a while. Any plans for new specs to be added to existing classes? To that, a big no. So, hopefully that means we're going to add new classes. And next, allied races. Now, this one is going to be one that everybody loves, and it's going to be one that, in my way of looking at it, I'm sad about one thing, and that is the Sephiroth. There will not be a Sephiroth playable allied race. And there will also be no high elves. Now, there will be a feral boar race for the Horde that uses a Worgen skeleton. This guy goes on to say, hopefully not boars, but doesn't know the lore associated with them. They are not quill boars. Welcome to the channel and welcome to the stream. If you're here for the first time, be sure to go ahead and smash on that subscribe button now. That way you're always up to date. And be sure to click on the bell icon as well. Let me know who I have in the channel or in the live chat. Okay, and then Redeemed is, I guess, what we're going to call it. The Light Undead now have a name, Redeemed. Are the Forsaken who have defected to the Alliance. So yes, the Alliance will be getting their undead. It'll be the Forsaken who have defected to the Alliance and been purified by light. Definitely a different, feel there. It's going to be very odd to see undead on the Alliance side, you know what I mean? And next, the next allied races are the Volpira, which would be for the Horde, and Mechanomes, which would be for the Alliance. Now, there's no shocker there. We've all known this for some time. It's not anything new. But let's go on to the next one. Lore not pertaining to previous entries. Yrel will come back eventually, like in the expansion following, but not before then. Elune has made a bargain with the goddess of death and granted Tyrande mega powers, even though Tyrande wants to kill Sylvanas, who is working for the goddess. Now, the goddess of death. Who is that? I mean, it's got me thinking, okay, because if you would have asked me who the goddess of death would be, I would have said Sylvanas, because, just obvious reasons. But apparently not, because she is working for the goddess of death. Now, this could be Helia, possibly? Let me know what you guys think. Now, also, it goes on to say, okay, working for the goddess and is now doing all she can to both honor her bargain and not forsake her people. So this goes on to say that Sylvanas is trying her best to honor the deal, but don't want to betray her people either. And that is very different, I've got to say. Because I thought, I thought that she had already, betrayed her people in a large way. Is the death god supposed to be Zera of the death aspect? He goes on to say, no clue. He also adds, most employees don't even know the name of the death god or the new expansion's name yet. They aren't told more than they need to know. Raytheon has been postponed repeatedly since the Dragon Isles has been on the back burner for a while now, and was originally supposed to come out after Warlords of Draenor. Raytheon will play a big role, and I'd be surprised if it wasn't his voice on the reveal trailer when they film it. Again, it's almost like this guy has went back, watched my channel, and just picked everything that I have said and brought it to the forward, because I have always said Raytheon is going to be a big part going forward. Okay, so Ashara, she does not die. We do not kill her. Again, I'm sad to hear that, because I've always wanted to kill her. And what better way in time than now? N'Zoth is defeated at the end of 8.3, but not dead forever. But let's face it, guys, in this game, is anybody ever dead forever? I mean, we've seen countless ones that we thought was dead, and now they're back. Merzond is a person who was trying to kill Chromie. Now, in all honesty, I had totally forgot about Chromie, because it was just, it was fun at the time. We've moved on. But it's also nice to know who was trying to kill her. Blizzard as a company. Now this one, sorry about that. This one is definitely interesting. Not everyone has a love and a passion for the game that they're working on. It's a job at the end of the day, and most of them don't interact with others for the most part. Most things are done by passing notes and papers without words, if there's any interaction at all. Pretty much no one has pride in the games right now that I've talked to. It's just a job for us. most of us don't even play the games. As far as I understand it, it's even more so for the higher ups. The leaker is more excited for the Elder Scrolls 6 more than anything else at this point. No forced female agenda, push in the story or narrative. Roughly a third of the player base is female. Now, for years, it's been an inside joke that women don't play, females don't play WoW. It's, all guys. Well, obviously, a third of the player base is female, so we've now put that to rest. Someone asked how many hires are diversity hires who suck at their job, and they said 0 were diversity hires who suck. When asked if Blizzard ripped off ideas from YouTubers like Taliesin and Evertail, they replied, but YouTubers haven't come up with anything new. They pass off old ideas as new ones. Clay skins have been talked about forever, and their list of allied races were uninspired and could have been ripped off from Wowpedia. Hey, Pig Eater, how's it going, man? Hey, buddy, you're going to definitely want to watch. Go back after the live stream is over. Watch the whole stream. There's so much that is going on right now that we are looking at. Apparently, a WoW developer has leaked a lot of information. So, I don't know if he's ticked off that he didn't get the right job or that he didn't get a pay increase. I don't know what the situation is, but definitely it's interesting. Yeah, so definitely go back after this ends. Watch the whole video from the beginning to the end. We are now 40 minutes and 32 seconds into the stream. So you did miss out on a lot. But if you have any questions about the leak, anything that you want to know if it addressed, let me know. Be more than happy to tell you. Okay, so it goes on to say that 1/3 of the player base again is female, so that's definitely different. No diversity hires. When asked if Blizzard rips off, okay, I've already covered that one. Why are all your games? Somebody asked a question. Why are all your games shit now? The developer says people pay for it. Yeah, simple as that. Blizzard employees don't get the games for free. Now, to be honest with you, I have a hard time believing in this one because I do know that if you're a Blizzard employee and there's a beta comes out, you're in. If there is a new expansion, I'm highly doubting that Blizzard makes their people pay for it. I just don't see that. Doesn't see WoW going free to play anytime soon, which I totally agree with that one, because why would they make it free to play? For God's sake, there's so much there's millions of people playing the game, and even if they was to just charge like $2 a person per month, in a month they'd make millions of dollars even at that. To me it'd just be stupid to go free to play at this time. And next, the game design. Level Squish is going to be happening, guys. And we've knew this for a while. And I've contacted some people that I've knew through them by GM tickets and stuff over the years. And they have confirmed that yes, 60 will be the new level cap before 9.0. So it is coming soon. And once 9.0 hits, it won't be 60 no more. We'll be going up to 70. So they're more, in all essence, they're knocking us down to a lower level so that we can climb back up. But I mean, you've got to admit, we are getting out of bounds, you know. I mean, what's next? If they don't lower the levels, I can see it. 4 or 5 expansions from now, somebody logs in, they're brand new to the game, and they look and see, wow, I'm level 1 and I've got to go to level 295. Wow, I'm overwhelmed. And they leave. I mean, if I logged into a game and I had like hundreds of levels to go, I mean, I'd leave. I wouldn't, play the game and do all that. So to me, it's better to lower it and then start gradually climbing back up, and go from there. Okay, I see we have another person just popped in. Go ahead and let me know who we got, and welcome to the stream. Okay, so there went on, somebody asked about the BRD like dungeons. Now, I don't know about you guys, if you played back in the day of vanilla, you know what this person's talking about with the BRD like dungeons. BRD was, of course, Blackrock Depths, and was one of the best dungeons in Classic. It was what back then would have been considered a mega dungeon. It had so much you could do. I mean, I've seen people go in, I've done it myself, go into this BRD and be there for hours trying to clear it all. I mean, it was huge, and it was awesome. But this person asked about BRD-like dungeons, or if it's all Mythic plus bait now. He says that the focus right now is going to be on Mythic plus, since everyone seems to enjoy it. I personally think the comment of everyone enjoying it maybe a little bit too much. I know some people who cannot stand Mythic plus. I know some people who they went in a few times, didn't like it, and have not returned to Mythic plus since then. I mean, I can take it or leave it. I do Mythics, don't do them as much as I would like, but no Daint Studio. There will be no Daint Studio going forward. Excuse me. And there's talks of loosening the faction barriers so that people can play with both sides or do quests for the other faction. So if I wanted to go over to Stormwind, walk into Stormwind and start doing quests, I could do that. To me, I don't think that's a good idea. But he goes on to say that he doubts it'll go anywhere, as it is just talk currently at Blizzard. It would allow for more interaction if war mode is off. Orcs could be in Stormwind, Night Elves could be in Horde guilds, etc. And to me, I don't know. That's just not World of Warcraft, That's more like World of Lovecraft. Everybody loving each other and, hey, come on in, Horde. You're in a Alliance town. Nobody do anything, We're all friends now. To me, that's just not, it's not right. To me, that's just not right at all. But I guess it's what they're working on. Hiji and Plunder Isles were to be introduced before Nadjatar, but ended up being scrapped. Moria was going to play a large role, but no one knows who she is, so it would be pointless. Now, to me, I think that the so-called dev is crazy if he don't think people knows who Moria is. For God's sake, I mean, unless you've been hiding under a rock or you're brand new to the game, you know who Moria is. You also know she has a son that has been in the crib for many expansions. So whatever, I guess he's never going to get older, or maybe he's going to be the next the next king of Ironforge. Who knows? But there's also people working on player housing every year or so, and a new prototype is just never gets approved. So that is something that they are working on. They just not struck on the right one yet, I guess. Old world revamping. When? He goes on to say BFA, Dark Shore, and the Rappy Highlands. This playing the patch style that we've all adopted, with seasons and each raid invalidating the last, isn't going to change anytime soon, because it keeps things fresh. Which, in a way, you gotta agree, it kind of does keep things fresh, because now you're not going to go back to, let's say, Legion to run dungeons unless it's time walking, or unless it has an item that you're wanting to farm, and you're wanting to get all these items, Welcome to the channel and welcome to the stream. If this is your first time here, be sure to go ahead and click on the subscribe button and let us know who we have. Okay, so as he said here, it's not going to end with that, because, quite frankly, it does keep things fresh. Do you have any faith in the WoW lasting any longer? The leaker says, absolutely. There's a lot of different paths that can be taken to secure its future. Now, to me, I'm really happy with this. I think it's totally awesome that, if this is for real, I think this is totally awesome, because it's going to allow us to put to rest everybody's worry that the game is ending, the world's ending, it's all coming to an end. But, guys, I have, and I'm going to give you a sneak peek. I mean, if you're here now and you've watched the video this long, or you're here in the live stream, I'm going to give you a heads up on something. The doomsayers. A lot of people have, for years, just looked at them as more or less a waste of time. But doomsayers have a lot to say to us, and they've been giving us warnings for some time. And if you look back at the things that they've said, it's coming forward. It's coming to pass. You're going to see it. We are seeing it. We are playing it right now. Some of the things that they've said. So I'll be going over that in a different video, maybe even a different stream. So we'll wait and see on that. But anybody have any questions, any comments, any things you want to know about, possibly about the this leaker, anything that maybe you missed and you wanted to hear about, let me know, and I'll be more than happy to go over it. Now, this will be the final 7 minutes. I am going to try to start keeping these right at an hour, or an hour long. That way, it's not too hard. For example, with Pig Eater, you missed some of the video. You missed a good chunk of the video, in fact, and or stream. And when it goes live and it's ready for replay, I don't want to have it so that you are looking at it and saying, "Oh man, that's 2 hours long." That's a lot of time. I don't know if I have that much time. An hour, anybody can, put on the game and have it running in the background. So it's definitely something that can be done. That, and I have a lot to work on. I don't know if you guys can see it here. I have some things I need to work on for other videos, and to get my characters ready for the upcoming patch in just a few days. Today is the 22nd after all, and on the 25th, 8.2 will go live. Oh, definitely, man. You better believe I'll be playing Classic. Not only will I be playing Classic, I have a Classic channel that is just ready and waiting. And when Classic starts, I'll be streaming to that channel. I'll be making videos to that channel, as well as this one. And that channel's dedicated to nothing but Classic. If it's not about Classic, it will never go to the other channel. So, yes, I definitely will be playing, streaming, doing videos, doing guides. I cannot wait. I was a little bit upset with Blizzard, because you have all these people, some of them who have never even played Classic, but yet they have them in the beta looking and trying to decide what is bugs. Well, to me, it makes more sense to have somebody, for example, like myself, who played in Classic, who played back in 2004, playing the beta in order to find out if there's bugs. Because quite honestly, if you never played in Classic, you're not going to know if something is a bug or if it was just the way it was back then. And, Ian Hezekostas recently said that they had got, just in this patch, in the 8.2 patch, not even nothing to do with Classic, over 200, I think he said 200,000 reports of bugs. I want to say 200,000, or it may be 2,000. I can't remember. It's been a few days since I watched. But imagine how many they're getting with Classic from people that have no idea of what they're reporting is an actual bug. I mean, for God's sake, that's why they now have a dedicated spot on the forum that says, "Not bugs." And they have a huge list. That way, people hopefully will read that and quit reporting the things that are not bugs. So definitely, I do plan on playing Classic WoW 100%. And I'm going to try to divide my time up. I may do so many days a week of Classic, so many days a week in live, and depending upon how live goes, if it starts to dwindle down and it's not doing any, not anything going on, I may spend more time that week in Classic. So it really depends. What about you? Are you going to be playing? I mean, I'm assuming you are. for me, I'm going to be starting out with my all-time favorite, and I thought that I would start out with my Warrior. I'll be honest, because Warrior was what I played back in the day. But I'm now very seriously considering playing a hunter. Hunters back in the day, they had so much more to do than they do now. You had Raptor Strike. You had, you could do so much. I actually never played vanilla back in the day, so I'll definitely be trying it out. What do you plan on playing? A Horde Alliance? What class? What race do you plan on playing? Just curious. And if this goes over a couple minutes, it ain't no big deal, because I do want to get your input on this. Mostly because vanilla had RPG Bill. Yes, it definitely did that. That's something I've never actually done. Is played. I played on horror or normal servers. I played on PvP servers. I have never played on a RPG server. It may be something I may look into in the future, but who knows? I've just it's never something I've tried. Do you have a class in mind and a race on the Alliance, Big Eater? And Pig Eater, be sure, man, go back. I'm telling you, you don't want to miss it. There's just so much packed into this stream that you cannot um, afford to miss. Yeah, what's your main going to be in vanilla or classic? Me myself, like I said, it's and right now it's a toss up. I'm either going to do my warrior like I did back in the day, or I'm going with a hunter. And if I go with a warrior, if I go with a warrior, it'll be Tauren. If I go with a hunter, it's going to be orc. And a lot of people are going to be surprised, man, because um, literally there is no two things about it. There's four classes, four Horde, four Alliance. That's it. There's races, I mean. You got the humans, gnomes, dwarfs, and night elves for the Alliance. You got Tauren, Undead, Troll, and I can't remember what the other one was. Tauren, Undead, Troll, and Orc. Orc. That's it. I mean, you don't have a lot of choices. I was talking to somebody just the other day, and they said, "Hey, man, I can't wait to play my. Get this, I cannot wait to play my Demon Hunter in Classic." And I all I could do was laugh and say, "Yeah, you're going to be waiting a long time because Demon Hunters are not in Classic. You're not ever going to have one in Classic. You know, it's just not going to happen." Now, one thing I will say, Pig Eater. Oh, by the way, if I'm going to in this in the comments for this, I'm going to post once it goes up for playback, which it may take a bit because YouTube sometimes takes a little longer than you hope. But I'm going to put a link to my Classic channel for you. And for anybody else who's watching this, if you are wanting to play Classic, be sure, please be sure to go ahead and hit the subscribe button on that channel as well, because that way you'll know when things are going to start getting, new videos and so on. But, yeah, I mean, like one guy said, well, at least we'll be able to get a shot at getting the mounts we want from Classic, and then bring them on back over to Live WoW. Nope. Sadly, nope. It's already been confirmed. I've already talked to several different people at Blizzard, and they have all said what you do in Classic will not affect what you do in retail. No more than what you do in retail will affect the other. Yeah. Yeah, I thought I thought it was a good idea, because that way it will keep things separate. Because, I've had so many different people saying, man, I want to know more, I can't wait for Classic. And then you've got other people saying, man, I don't want nothing to do with Classic. Well, this way they get to choose which, and they can be on both channels, obviously. I hope everybody is. But if they wanted to stay with 100% Classic, they could. Or if they wanted to go to retail, they could. Or they could do both. But I kind of was hoping, and I'm not going to lie to you, I was hoping against hope that we would be able to bring the mounts on over to regular. But nope. It does not look like they're going to let us do that. I've seen some people on some of the forums, man, I can't wait to see what kind of battle pits we have in Classic. I can tell you now, none. Nope, battle pits, nope, not going to happen. And, people are, some of them are not happy because it's going by the book Classic. But I'm totally happy with it. Because to me, if I go down the road and I find somebody who has a 1967 Shelby Mustang, and it is 100% Classic, it is 110% as it was when it released, when they first put that car out on the road, then that's what I want. I don't want it to have, big whooper speaker coming out of the thing. I don't want some scoop on it and some crazy paint job. I want it to be as it was when I bought it. When it was originally bought. And that's what I think Classic should be. By the way, do you think there will be an option to buy WoW tokens in Classic? No. They've already said that would not be going on. They said the reason being, in WoW Classic, you are going to have a very low, I think it's 2,000, I want to say it was 2,670 plus, it wasn't even 2,800. I mean, it was just very low amount of gold back then. And they said that a person could go out, buy one token, boom, they're rich. They have all the gold they need, they're level capped, and then some. And, so they won't be allowing that. I wish they would, in a way. Because I've had some people tell me, You know, making gold back in Classic is going to be easy. Yeah. Wait until they're in it and then let them tell me that again. Because if they do, they're blind. I remember vividly being in back in the day of Classic. I would come on at around 10 o'clock that morning. I would level, just, or not, well, level when I was leveling my character. And I would level non-stop until bedtime. Or I would, if I was getting ready for a raid, I would go out and I would farm for mats. I would farm for gold. I would hope to make enough gold to pay for my repairs. I would have to go out and find the stuff to cook for my food, to bring potions and so on. And, it would take hours and hours and hours a day. And my guild was not one of the most hardcore guilds as far as raiding, but we raided. Well, I guess it was kind of hardcore after all, because we would raid 6 and 7 days a week, 8 and 10 to 12 hours a night. We would sometimes start at like 6 in the evening and go all the way through until like 6 in the morning. I thought they could make it something like, for example, token on BFA is worth 200,000 gold, on Classic 200 gold or 2,000 gold. That is a good idea. It is. And maybe, who knows, maybe they'll do that, because I'm sure there'll be a lot of people wanting it. Yeah, yeah, definitely. And see, that's another thing. I think World of Warcraft, I think the people at Blizzard, and this is something you don't hear me saying very often now, I think they are geniuses. And here's why. I honestly think they are some of the smartest people in the gaming industry today. And here is why. Okay, if you have, let's say, 1,000,000 people, okay, and I know there's a lot more than that. Let's say you have 1,000,000 people who want to play WoW, okay, who have left, or who want to play Classic. They left. They're not even playing retail. They're gone. Okay, they left because they can't play Classic, right? They can't play vanilla. Well, now the word is you've got to have a paid subscription to play Classic. So, no paid time. If you don't have paid time, you're not going to play Classic. So, there you go. So, in a way, it's genius, because, you have people who, for example, in my old guild, we had right at, I forget how many, I think it's right at 1,000 people in the guild. And we was so full we could never, we would have to go back and say, well, this person's been offline for 6 months or 6 weeks or whatever. This one over here is wanting to play right now. Let's go ahead and kick this one. We'll send them an email. If they want back in, they can get back in when they get back. That kind of thing. Because the guild was so full. I have stayed in touch with a good 99% of that guild. And all of them are coming back. All of them are coming back. They're coming back not for retail. They could care less about Battle for Azeroth or what's going on in retail. They only want to play Classic. But that means that they're also going to have retail. They're going to have retail. They're going to have Battle for Azeroth. and they're going to have to pay to play Battle for Azeroth. So if you look at it from that aspect, Blizzard is getting ready to have a huge boost to their player base, a huge boost to their income, and that is what matters the most to them. Okay, it's not about how many people's playing and how good that person is or how bad that person is or anything about that. It has nothing to do with that. It's all to do with how much money they're making. And there you go. Any other questions, comments? I don't know what it is. I've got a tickle on the back of my throat, and I keep drinking water. I've drunk coffee. I've tried a lot of different things, and it just seems to keep tickling. But any other comments or? Okay, well, Blizzard listened and realized how many people actually went classic servers. Exactly, and that's another thing, okay? I seen somewhere, and I can't remember where, that they had so many millions, and I can't remember where I read that at, but I think it was like 8 or 9 million players that was coming online every day to go and play the private servers. Not World of Warcraft as it is now, but classic servers. And like you just said, they listened and they realized how many people actually want classic servers. And also they realized that it will make some good money. Exactly. That is 100% the nail on the head. They are making the right move at the right time. I personally think that this is something they've had planned out for a while. And also, I don't know if you heard this, Pig Eater, but I know this is something I constantly am reading things about World of Warcraft and watching videos and reading and contacting people at Blizzard to get more information about it. And one of the things that I found out, Classic is just the start. They're going to do Classic servers, and then there's going to be Burning Crusade servers. There's going to be servers that are Wrath of the Lich King, and each and every expansion. Now, the only drawback to this would be, let's say you've played your character, you've got him all the way up to 60, he is ready to go. Yeah, separate servers for every expansion. Okay, and the thing is, so let's say if you have already played your character and you got him to 60, now you want to start playing the Burning Crusades. When you go to Burning Crusades, I don't know, and I've not been able to find this one out yet, if they are going to have the copy character feature where it'll copy it over. And if they did, that would be awesome. It just would be freaking awesome. Or if you're automatically going to just start a new character and you'll start all of your characters at level 60 on that server. So, or level 70 or whatever, depending upon what server you're starting on. And I think it's awesome. I think this is going to be the one thing that is going to save Blizzard Entertainment and keep World of Warcraft going. I do. I think it's going to be freaking awesome. But yeah, I to me, I think that World of Warcraft Classic has been the one thing that has lost more by not having it, has lost more subscribers than any other thing in the game. And now that they are going to be smart enough to give it to us, I think that World of Warcraft Classic will be the one thing that draws every one of them people back and says, let's play WoW. You know? It's just my opinion. I think it's going to be great. Now, like I said, I've been keeping in touch with all the people from my old guild, right at 1,000 people to be exact. 900 and it was 1,000, and then we lost two. Two of them have since passed away, but 998 players will be coming back that I know of. And I mean, that's just the ones that come back from my old guild, okay? So, to me, that's freaking awesome. I don't know where you guys started out, or where started out, like on, Alliance or Horde or whatever. Yeah, and that's just one guild. Yeah, exactly. We was on Alexstrasza. The guild was called Is a Living Legend, and we only had the one guild. Okay, well, we had another guild called Working as Intended. They had four guilds called Working as Intended, spelled correctly, and then Working as Intend, and then a D, Intended, in order to get it, to where it be all the same. And they did all that. They had right at 4,000 people in their four guilds, and they all played daily. I mean, it was nothing to see, like a sea of nothing but Working as Intended people running around the guild, running around Ogrimmar and stuff. And that's another thing. You guys, the ones who have not played, like you, Pig Eater, who have not played Classic WoW back in the day, oh man, you're in for such a freaking treat, because World of Warcraft has changed so much. Okay, it has changed so freaking much. We back in the day, the original Ogrimmar is going to be back. Okay, when did you start, Pig Eater? I mean, not trying to be nosy, but did you start before Cataclysm or after Cataclysm? And the reason I'm curious is, if you started after Cataclysm, oh man, you're in for a treat, because the Thousand Island. Ooh, you can tell I'm getting hungry. Thousand Needles. Okay, Ben, you know where Thousand Needles is now, right? It's all underwater. It's not going to be. Thousand Needles is going to be a desert. Out in that big area where that big boat is floating around is going to be a racetrack. Okay? If you go underwater now where that big boat is, you can see bits and pieces of the yeah, you can see bits and pieces of the racetrack, of the flags and the race, some of the vehicles, and but it was freaking awesome. And I'm going to be honest with you, that was one of my favorite, favorite, favorite zones. Is Thousand Needles and the the racetrack area. I mean, in itself. Now, as far as raids, I'm also looking forward to the opening of Encourage. Because it's not open when everything starts, okay? I mean, it's not even close to being open. Okay, we have to go and we have to open it. We have to collect things in order to open Encourage. There's going to be this big, humongous monster that is in Syllabus that we have to kill when the time comes. But before we can even summon that monster, we have to collect, collect, collect. And I think to me, I think it's just going to be freaking awesome. I mean, that's all I can say. Um, I don't know how to put it any other way. But, well, guys, Pig Eater, I'm going to go ahead and hop off here and let YouTube start getting it all ready. But please do, as I said, please do be sure to go back and watch the entire video. Because if not, you're going to be missing out on so much. There is so much that you actually missed out on. And with, as I said, with these leaks, you never know if they're real or if they're fake and it's just somebody setting it up. But if these are real, World of Warcraft is getting ready to just become so much more. Yeah. So, well, guys, y'all have a great night. Hopefully, I'll see you here next week. I am starting to get back onto my regular schedule because there's so much more going to be going on. Oh my God, on Tuesday is going to be freaking awesome. I may do a live stream on Tuesday. I may very well do a live stream on Tuesday when I start to play the game. So keep an eye out for that. I'm pretty sure that's what I'm going to do. But anyway, for now, have a great evening. And be sure to get your characters ready for 8.2 if there's anything that you can do real quick. Because, we only got a few days. We got 3 days to be exact to be ready. Anyhow, you guys have a great evening, and I'll see you next time.